Well, let's get down to business here then, everybody, shall we? We have a season to sim, and I hope, I pray, a championship to win. Again, a reminder of the rotation. Copeland, Ullman, Dixon, Cairo, and Davies. Bullpen is Herrera, Guerrero, Hooper, Fitzgerald, Swanger, Silva, and Chris Karowski. The lineup. Alonso, Holiday, Simons, Sampson, Harrison, Fleming, Rodriguez, Black, and Bonilla. We'll see how Kevin Black does at DH against righties. I mean, again, we can always look for a little bit of insurance, but intentionally our depth is kind of mid. We don't want them taking away too much starting time. How long was Sasaki on the team? About 2 to 3 years? And then it was just, he was declining, and it was worth moving that contract. We moved him to Houston. Lefties, it's Alonso, Holiday, Simons, Sampson, Harris, Fleming, Rodriguez, Bonilla, and Brian Hayes, who does have the 84 contact against lefties. But yeah, we will probably, if we look to make like any change with this team, oh yeah, Bonilla's, both of our catchers, Angelo Bonilla, 99 fielding, really good from there. Kevin Kaiser as well, another phenomenal defensive catcher. Last year, we had an amazing hitting catcher, and he shit the bed in the playoffs. And Herrera, the year before that, was an amazing contact hitter at catcher, shit the bed. So I am perfectly fine with going defense first at catcher. It just puts in Bonilla because he's a little bit better at the plate. So it is true. He also has 99 bunting. But yeah, if we look to do anything this year, it'll probably be to bring in a DH, right? But we can see how the boys do for now. And who knows, sometimes some of the lower-rated guys make for better DHs. And, of course, you see our team ranks right now, which is just ridiculous. So, in terms, oh boy, of what we need to scout, I mean, the thing is, we don't need anything in particular. We don't. We are going to start just with a basic scroll. I trust all three of our scouts. A basic scroll through each position and region. We'll save pitchers for last. But we did have a slow start to last year's season. We're 8-6 right now. And again, then eventually we figured it out and went on to win 111 games. I don't really care how many games we win in the regular season either, just so long as we make the playoffs. That is clearly the most important thing. Although, shits and giggles. Kevin Black's hitting 228 so far. Brian Acuna's in at third base. Excuse me, there's got to be an injury already. Only out for 1 to 6 days, but all right, yeah, Dwight Simons got injured early on in the season. That's not what you want to see. That's not what you want to see. So, yeah, we'll take these early results with a grain of salt again. Definitely take the early results with a grain of salt because can't totally be trusted. Harper down to a 60. He's 42. Just noticed he was on the free agent list. It was the right time to bring him in. And just let him survive on a major league roster for just a little bit longer before retirement. So between him and Vladdy's at a freaking 65. So, players do still fall off the face of the earth once they hit 30. All right, 19 and 15. Not the best start, certainly. Not the worst start either, but yeah, not the best start. We'll take a look at the beginning of June at this roster and kind of see what the big issues are. Because at least, beginning of June, it's still early enough to divert course if we have to. We're only a couple weeks away here. We definitely haven't had that one big run yet. I mean, 26 and 20, we're not bad. But we're not destroying worlds yet either. Yeah, destroying worlds. Another week and a half here. Still winning more than we're losing, but not amazing, and still a game back of the Cubs. Let's see, let's go left field central, left field east, and left field international. And like I said, one more week here, and then we'll take a look. So 33-23 as of June 1st. Dead heat with the Cubs for the division. Let's take a look at the roster here. So Bonilla is injured, out for 2 to 3 weeks with a fractured forearm. Was only batting .219. Kaiser, who was great in the playoffs, only hitting .208. So neither catcher was looked at to provide a tremendous amount of offense. Neither is, as well. Brandon Ramirez, he's ready to go. He's a little bit more of a well-rounded hitter than the other two. He's also a switch hitter. So, we do have him as kind of the ace in the hole, if need be. He's already on the 40-man, too, isn't he? Yeah. So that is also an option. Bonilla's out for 2 to 3 more weeks. I mean, we can call up Bonilla, or Ramirez, excuse me, in the meantime, while Bonilla's hurt. We'll bump up Hewitt to AAA, and Gallo can go to double and be the starter there. First base, Chunky Harris hitting .229. He's down another overall point. Sparks, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. Welcome in. You picked the time because this is depressing. Chunky, 6 home runs, 30 RBIs, a 714 OPS. I don't want to say this team's going to be better off without Chunky Harris, but this team might be better off without Chunky Harris. Also worth noting that Aldo Herrera is ready to go. You didn't miss anything playoff-wise if you saw the end of last night's stream. Aldo's ready to go. How much longer do we give Chunky? Harper's hitting 184. All right, we're gonna stop fucking around with Bryce Harper. Sorry, Bryce. We're gonna drop you. Aldo Herrera is gonna be added to the 40-man. He's coming up to the major league roster. We'll see if he gets chances. We'll see. Chunky is in big trouble. Big trouble. Second base, Forrest Fleming up to an 89. 10 home runs, 24 RBIs, batting .230 with a 791 OPS. Honestly, I'm perfectly content with that. Perfectly content. Especially with the defense we know he provides. Mark Valley out with a torn finger ligament. Of course, we still have Jazz as the backup. And then Milt Sanchez can, for the moment, go up to AA. Because of the long-term injury to Valley. That works for me. Simons at third base, still hitting .331. Regressing in some ways. Nothing too major. But 9 home runs, 36 RBIs, and again, over a 1.0 OPS. He's fantastic. How is he doing fielding-wise, by the way? 976. Not great. Not great. There's an argument maybe he'd be better suited going back to the outfield. We could make that change. Swap him with like Rodriguez. That could be done. And of course, Cabrian Hayes is just there as a dude. We do need another AAA third baseman now, since we got rid of the other guy. Honestly, it could be a Relvis Martinez. Wants a 4-year deal. He's out of his mind. What about Lipscomb? He is a little bit more reasonable. So Lipscomb does have the service time. DFA and down to AAA for you. Shortstop, Jackson Holiday. 31 years young, 10 home runs, 30 RBIs. Also over a 1.0 OPS to this point in the season. He has been fantastic. Cunha hasn't done too much behind him, but also he doesn't need to, so it's fine. Then in left, Murray Sampson. Ugh. 11 home runs, 43 RBIs, just a 220 average and a 7.12 OPS. Have we made a mistake with the signing of Murray Sampson? It could be viewed that way. Omar Rodriguez in center, 8 home runs, 31 RBIs, 292 average, 870 OPS. He's been great. He has been great. And then Alexis Alonso hitting 320. Kevin Black's hitting 281 with the chances he's been given. That's not bad. So from my viewpoint, biggest issue right now, Murray Sampson not quite living up to his end of the bargain. And the biggest issue is got to be Chunky, but he is on a bit of a hot streak. We're going to give him a little bit more time. In terms of the bullpen, Henry Silva looks good. Strikeout to walk ratio is not great. Swanger, okay. Fitzgerald's been good in his 18 innings. God, Molina and Montanez both getting better. Carver's getting better. Shit. Kurowski, outstanding. 20 strikeouts, 0 walks, 14 saves out of 15 attempts. Dougie Guerrero, outstanding. Hooper, outstanding. So, I mean, the pitchers that we do have right now are doing a wonderful job. Swanger is regressing a little bit. There could be an argument to cash out on Swanger to make room for Molina. In which case, we'd also move Montanez and Carver just because we don't have space for them. We could cash out on Josh Swanger. I'm just worried about Nick Molina potentially having that overall regress because dude's got 99 velocity. Absolute cannon. Absolute cannon. That might be the right move. Then for the start, this game it doesn't suck, but I'm mad. The 5-time Cy Young winner signs to our team and has a 4.58 ERA and a 3.99 FIP. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. Ullman's at a 3.53. Dixon at a sub 3, 289. Cairo's at a 4.22. Davies a 4.43. Herrera at a 4.42. So the bottom 3 guys struggling a bit. Copeland has the worst ERA of any starter. Hey. We look at the roster really quickly after that game. Look at the lineup. Herrera's getting in at DH. Do have Murray Sampson in left, who's been a little bit disappointing. We'll give it a little bit more time for some of the struggling players, but I am worried about that a potential reliever regressing. I think our bullpen's fine, even without Swanger. And let's be honest, if we're going to pull off a trade to replace someone like Chunky, we're going to need the salary space, so the $15 million of Swanger can go. It's going to be Swanger, Montanez, and Carver, making room for Nick Molina. And we'll see what we can get back prospect-wise. That is very disappointing, though, to see certain players struggling. Copeland, honestly, even more than Chunky, is so ridiculously disappointing. All right, let's see. Baltimore offering Prado. I really do need an A potential guy back to make a deal happen. Although a deal from the Yankees isn't too bad. Yeah, we're A potential hunting first. Ton Moffitt, also known as Mon Toffett, still there. 24A and a 70. Quite a few good B potential guys. The Angels again with Ibar. 24A and a 72. That's not bad. 24A and a 72 isn't bad. 20A and a 56. We have to move Leslie, though. Frank Guerrero. Cortez? Can't field worth the fuck. I think it's that Angels deal. It's not the best starter in the world, but that's a good thing for us. It is going to be Ernest Ibar and Adolfo Ortiz. Ortiz is perfectly fine where he is as a corner outfielder as well. That is a done deal. It's not the biggest return in the world, but it's not just about that trade. It's about the very likely other trades we're going to have to make this season. So, we still got Lipscomb on waivers then. So Ortiz can go straight to single A. I mean, he's a long ways away. Starters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Iglesias jumps to a 75. Fuck. So he's knocking at the door. He wants that chance. We're not going to be able to wait too long before we got to make a decision onto whether or not he gets that chance or we move him. So he could be involved in subsequent trades. And Nick Molina is ready for prime time. We'll call up Hester to AAA. Okay, so we're giving some of these guys a little bit more time. A little bit. But we still have some issues here. Particularly key players underperforming. Very key players underperforming. But we are certainly not hitting 115 wins this year. Not hitting that mark again. No shots. Okay, we recovered towards the end of the week. I mean, 42-29 is still not a record to scoff at, but the Cubs are killing it right now. They are doing so well. So well. And that is going to make them pretty tough to keep up with. Go starting pitchers in the West there. It's tough. We don't want to overreact too much. Red Sox offer a deal. I'm not interested. We'll make a deal when the time's right. So how did Ramirez do? 262 and 42 at-bats. He's very much pushing for that spot. Very much pushing for that spot. We are going to send him back down to AAA, but a decision needs to be made about him shortly. So we'll keep that in mind. We'll keep that in mind. All right, 47 and 30, 2 games back of the Cubs. Not bad. Starting pitcher Central, starting pitcher East, starting pitcher International. Let's see, Texas League first half is over. 52 and 32 as of July 1st. We have passed the Cubs for the top record in the division. Let's look at closers over relievers for the next week. And then we'll see what else we can find. So I want to get through. That was a great week for us. Diamondbacks pull off a big trade. Brian Humphrey is a B potential shortstop, but he's an 87 overall. Jack Gonzalez, Mick Abel's still hanging in there. And Homer Towers, Jesus Christ. That guy's still hanging around too, huh? I mean, I say that he's only 28, but we've been at this run for a while now, I've noticed. 6 games over the Cubs. So we'll go closer, international, and let's just see. Again, we are looking for the guys. We have the 27th pick. So Howard Hickey might still be available by the time we're ready to choose. And Jonathan Rivas as well. So I'll go first and second. And we will head to the draft here shortly. 61 and 34. Now 7 games up on the Cubs. We're looking good. Copeland is still closer to a 4 than I'd like, but a 3.75 ERA. Ullman at a 2.76. He's crushing it. Dixon up to a 3.77. Davies down to a 3.32, and Cairo now sub 4 as well. Herrera also sub 4. So the boys have done well here. Hooper over a 5 ERA. The whip's not bad. Molina has been excellent since getting called up. And then Guerrero is looking awesome. So was Silva. And then Karowski's going to win reliever of the year again. Easily. In his sleep. Lineup-wise. Rodriguez hitting 282. I like that. Holiday at a 320. Alonso at a 314. Simons at a 317. So the big three are doing great. Sampson still down at a 214. Chunky at a 232. 720. Man, Sampson and Harris. Aldo Herrera hitting 301 since getting the call up. Sampson and Harris are in a rough spot. You have to be an elite defensive player if you're not going to deliver at the plate. That's why we can excuse Angelo Bonilla. And even Brian Acuna, who's been playing at second base because of an injury. How bad is said injury to Forrest Fleming? We're having some trouble staying healthy. Definitely having some trouble staying healthy. I mean, shit, even Mark Valley's still hurt. Tim Tebow. I don't want to add him to the 40, man. Otherwise, I would call him up because it'd be funny. All right, we have a draft to go through. Again, it's 2035. We're a championship contender. We're going to breeze through this pretty quickly because, you know, our expectations are at rock bottom for the draft in terms of having information and being able to do anything. Padres, Athletics, and Pirates have the top 3 picks. And the Padres select Lonnie Franco, the third baseman, projected 7th. We'll get all these dudes later on anyway, right? He is number 1 to the Padres. The Athletics select Joel Molina, or Joel Molina, whatever you prefer. Right fielder, projected 6th. Our scouts liked him quite a bit, too, through 31% scouted. Can't wait until he's a player on our team, of course. And the third overall pick to the Pirates, Aloy Neely. Aloy Neely? Aloy Neely. Aloe Vera Neely. There he is. A starting pitcher. So let's see. 27th pick. We have, well, the guy who was projected 3rd and our scouts had at 3rd, second baseman Brad Dudek. I mean, he doesn't look amazing, but he doesn't look awful. Switch hitter. If it's not him, it's catcher Joaquin Gomez. Ooh, Gomer. 20% scouted. Dude, he could be a contact B. I thought it said a whole. Gomez looks pretty good, too. Also a switch hitter. And otherwise, Elvis McCann. 20% scouted, but if that's accurate, he's going to be insane. So it's pretty much just, who do we want to take the risk on? Of course, Oaks is 22, so... The fact that Dudek is still there makes me think that the AI know he's trash. But what if he isn't? And what if we just had the steal of all steals handed to us? We got to take Brad Dudek and hope for the best, you know? And that set of circumstances, we go for Brad Dudek and hope that everyone else's scouts were wrong. We do not get another pick until after the incentive round, the competitive balance round A, the second round. We have to wait all the way until pick number 70. This will be the one where I'm going to go through, and anybody that has a chance of being an A potential, we are going to add to our list, except for the injured dudes. And this way, through later rounds, we just kind of know who we might go for here, in terms of just hoping for the best. So yeah, this will help us out for the subsequent rounds, not just this round, so worth a shot. And we'll hope the minimal information that our scouts have about some of these guys is still enough to find some decent picks. I'm not expecting much, though. We've also had a bitch of a time trying to get people to sign because we haven't been scouting specifically. We've been trying to do general scouting, which is really difficult to pull off in this game. Not only for the information that you get back, but the player interest is huge. You know, if a player has barely heard from you, odds are he's not going to want to sign with you. That happened to us last year. I think we signed, what, 1, maybe 2 players out of our entire class. So, all right, almost at the end here. There we go. All right, well, top players left on the board. There's an outfielder, Andreas Manuel. Doesn't have the best arm strength, but a good fielder, maybe a good power hitter. Another starting pitcher. Oh, my God. Well, he's guaranteed. Yeah, right now we're looking at Velasquez. And then David Ingebrigtsen. Yeah, nah, I mean, we got to take a risk on this guy. If that's anywhere near accurate, he's going to be unbelievable. Roberto Velasquez, welcome in. Pick number 105. Ingebrigtsen's still there. His pitch velocity is the worst I've ever seen. Omar Del Villar. Steve Conrad at catcher. Not too bad. Sherman Wood. Could be a decent reliever. Carlos Rodriguez, we don't know a ton about. Bruce Bond. The name's Bond. Bruce Bond. Scott Chaney. Don't go hunting with him. Vincent Chin. Crimson Chin. And Luis Merced. All right. Well, mostly looking like relievers except for the catchers. So let's go for Steve Conrad. He could be a decent contributor if that's accurate. Welcome in, Stevie. Happy to have you here. Round number 4. Hello, Crashy Andrews, you handsome devil. All those relievers are gone. So Ingebrigtsen, Raul Garcia, we might just have to risk it. Victor Lucero, Tommy Erdman, John Washington, Doug Green. Yeah, we got our guy here. Raul Garcia, the reliever. Crashy, how's your face? Round number 5. Ingebrigtsen's still there. He wasn't projected to be drafted, so let's see if the AI found a steal with David Ingebrigtsen. And the 6th round, we're going in blind. Oh boy, there's not much left. Oh boy. We'll take this guy, Mitch Zinn, because he has the chance of having the highest overall. Welcome in, Mitch. So, we'll see what happens with that draft. I'm not too optimistic. Ready for bed. Boo. 3 a.m. Fortnite, baby. Let's go. Not worried about the home run derby. Angels make a big deal. Again, involving Seattle. Seattle signs players and then just flips them within like 2 years, I swear to God. Like every time, too. Let's see. It's All-Star time. I do want to see who our All-Stars happen to be. Bill Ullman is in, which is nice. Dougie Guerrero has also made the All-Star game. Hey, look. It's noted Philadelphia second baseman Josh Dooley. But Jackson Holliday, Alexis Alonso, Dwight Simons, all of them starters in the All-Star game for the second year in a row. And Omar Rodriguez is there as a center fielder. So, not bad. Not bad at all. And today is the first day to sign draft picks, too. So let's see what we can do. We'll take a look at... wow, like everyone's at 42%. So we'll go for Dudek, we'll go for Velasquez, and Ingebrigtsen. See what we can do. Max Clark on his way to Cleveland from the Blue Jays. We got a decent little amount of options back. Let's see, draft picks. Yeah, we're still gonna be waiting for a bit. So we are giving the team pretty much until the last minute to make their case as to why they should stay. AKA Chunky Harris, you're running out of time. We have not been able to sign Brad Dudek yet, which is annoying. And Bob Henley has already been traded. The Diamondbacks have him for half a season, and they flip him to Washington. So it looks like we made the right choice to move on from Bob Henley. I don't hate that. All right, one more attempt to sign Brad Dudek here, and there we go. We do get our first-round pick this year. And he looks like he could have been a steal. Let's look at... Oh, boy. Yeah, we'll go for Steve Conrad. We got one guy we have pretty much no chance of signing, but that's okay. Up to 63 wins now. Roberto Velasquez, the bonus allotment is getting thin. I don't think I'm able to sign anybody except for our first-round pick. Oops. You know what? If there was ever a time, though, to get punished, now's the time. It's really not that big of a deal. If I'm not able to sign anybody else, at least we got Brad Dudek. Son of Jersey. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here. It's Chris Gilbert. See, the Mariners again. Sign a guy, ship him out. Just, oh ye of perpetual rebuild. The Seattle Mariners. Jesus. That's insane. It is trade deadline time. Moment of truth for some of the players on this team. At catcher, Kevin Kaiser. It's not great. A 197 average. He is improving. But a 197 average, a 451 OPS. Perfect in the field, though. Like, he is the defense-first catcher through and through. Bonilla is improving. 4 home runs, 14 RBIs, a 212 average, and a 612 OPS. Perfect in the field. So Kaiser, here's the issue. Kaiser was great in the postseason last year. He's a great fielder. Bonilla's a little bit better at the plate so far, but not as good defensively. And then there's Brandon Ramirez, who in AAA has 7 home runs, 28 RBIs, and a 642 OPS. He is a better fielder. He's a better fielder than hitter. The thing is, if we're going to stick with Kaiser and Bonilla, Ramirez has to go. We risk his potential dropping and his value dropping. Now, of course, the argument is we can afford to get rid of Ramirez because of, you know, who else we have. The benefit to Ramirez over the other two is that Ramirez is a switch hitter. That would be the benefit. Again, I love Kaiser playing. If we get rid of Bonilla, it's our best hitting catcher. But it probably means Kaiser's in more for defense. Which I also don't hate. Because Kaiser's our catcher come playoff time. Like, I am absolutely going to go with the defensive catcher. But he's also the oldest. But yeah, a catcher, we need to move either Bonilla or Ramirez. One of them's got to go. We got to make the most of the value there. First base, Chunky. Oh, Chunky. I think the dream's over, guys. 14 home runs, 58 RBIs, a 228 average, and a 693 OPS. The dream is dead, everybody. Chunky's got to go. Chunky's got to go. You know, Herrera's been playing DH. 3 home runs, 22 RBIs, a 746. And honestly, at first base, Mario Ramirez is on this roster as soon as next year. You could argue he's not ready yet. Chunky turned from a boom to a doom. He sure did. I hate to say it. I think Chunky's gone. If we can get a first baseman back, cool. If not, then we call up Ramirez. Because we have Portillo in the system as well. But Harris has got to go. Fleming, of course, has been hurt. And he's also defense first. But he had an 801 OPS. So second base, we're good. We didn't have the ability to call up Valley earlier. Like Valley, Ramirez, like they're decent filler players. Aldo could be out as well because of Ramirez and Portillo being A's. That's true. Third base, Simons, he's hitting 321. He's going nowhere. He's going nowhere. We could also call up Trey Lipscomb to be the third choice third base, or second choice third baseman behind Cabrian Hayes. Instead of Cabrian Hayes, I should say. Shortstop, Jackson Holiday hitting 309. He's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. Murray Sampson. What a bust. What a bust. Alden Carnets couldn't have been that bad. I'm thinking Murray Sampson's out as well. I'm thinking so, because Alonso's not going anywhere. Rodriguez isn't going anywhere. Those are the key issues to focus on right now. Knowing that we're also... he's producing with a low average. It's true. But if we can find a replacement for him, I'm down to find a replacement for him. I don't think he's been god-awful, but he hasn't been good enough for what we're paying him. First baseman. There's no shot we're able to land Alberto De La Rosa, right? There's no shot. Right? There's no shot. From Baltimore. Chunky Harris. Sampson. Bonilla. Ramirez. I mean, using Chunky as the... I mean, De La Rosa is probably the best player in the game right now, and we're trying to go all in and win this damn thing, right? He's one of the best, I should say. We have the prospects to give up. We absolutely do. Especially from a pitching perspective. Who are some of the lower rated A's? Does Gonzalez still have good value? Not really. Hooper. Johnny Diaz. Barbori. Who would I have to give up to make this work? This is the real, like, pie in the sky type of player to pick up here. Let's see. Gerald's got good value. They really like Robert Davies. They really like Robert Davies, and I don't blame them. They also really like Lonnie Herrera, who's been struggling a bit. What about Brian Iglesias? B potential. I'm willing to give him up a little bit more. Aldo doesn't quite get us there. Felipe's hurt. Santiago gets us closer. Kevin Roach. Who else is out there for first baseman? Alfie Velasquez, Xavier Isaac, Bryce Eldridge. Eldridge just won a Gold Glove in this timeline. He's still signed for 2 more years, though. No doubt that Orioles option, Nolan Gorman, is the best option. There is also Clifford Cornell. He hasn't done that well on Miami. I almost called him Florida. William Daniels, former Rookie of the Year. He's been pretty good, too. I mean, Daniels on the Nationals. Best guy is easily De La Rosa. Can we work out the deal to get him, though? Is the question. Who's worth more to them? Chunky or Sampson? Definitely Chunky. So if we use Chunky in this deal, they're not as interested in Portillo as they are Ramirez. That's not surprising. I mean, it would have to be good prospects, but I mean, this is the time to take the home run shot, you know? This is the time to truly go all in, try to win this damn thing. Tommy Bliss has a decent amount of value. I think it would have to be pitching, particularly starting pitching. Just looking at how much value gets added for each pitcher here. Ibar is not bad. Esteban Santiago would be a good one to give up. Iglesias is a must. Santiago just isn't enough. Iglesias, Harris, and Davies would do it. That is 3 B potential players for the best first baseman in the league. Davies has been good, but we do have other people coming up. That's a deal. That's a deal. Again, rentals didn't work last year, so I'm kind of scared. But Chunky's cooked. Connor, what's going on, by the way? How are you? Harris, Iglesias, and Davies for Alberto De La Rosa. Done deal. We get the top first baseman in baseball. We're going all in, goddammit. I can't believe we can even afford this. Left field. Looking to replace Murray Sampson. Who is the top left fielder out there? Elijah Hood, but he's got a lot of time left and money that I cannot afford. He's already regressing, too, at 27. That's scary. I guess there is an argument to keeping him. There's Roman Anthony. He's making too much money. PCA. Got Max Clark, who's already been involved in one deal this year. Max Clark wouldn't be too bad. Max Clark wouldn't be too bad. There's also Morgan Bragg as a younger player, but his arm is really weak. Wow, Weatherholt made it to an 87. Good for him. It took him forever. Look, good for Weatherholt. You finally made it. Years after we traded him. I should just do the player search for this, shouldn't I? It might be a little bit faster, but... 90 overall right fielder Walker Jenkins on KC. And he's not that expensive. I think the Royals have our guy. Padres also have Charlie Condon. 31, 1 year. Okay, Condon's not bad either, but let's go to the Royals. Walker Jenkins. Add Murray Sampson to the deal. I need to add Bonilla or Ramirez. I think they like Ramirez a little bit more. That's understandable. What's the one extra piece I'd have to add to get this to go through? That is the question. You're right. They can't afford it. Fuck yeah, they're over budget already. Frank Grimes, 72 months. Frankie, welcome back. How's your face? We could go for Charlie Condon, though. Sampson and Ramirez for Charlie Condon's enough. That's a done deal. How's he doing this year? He's hitting .333 and has a .960. Yep, we're going for it. Sampson and Ramirez for Charlie Condon. We are going all in on this sumbitch. Frank, you're right. 72 months is a lot of months. That sounded very condescending. Sorry. Very good, Frank. Good job. Gold star for the day. All right, let's see. Miles Hewitt, you're going up to AAA starter. Acevedo's with you, and then we'll have Gallo and Gaucho in double. First base, dude, again, we're going all in. Alberto De La Rosa, Aldo Herrera, with plenty of people on the come up who are just about ready to go. Second base, of course, Forrest Fleming is hurt. He is out for another 3 to 4 weeks. So Mark Valley is going to get the call up. And honestly, so was Juan Ramirez if I can fit him on the 40-man, and I can. Bump him up. We'll drop Jazz down to AAA, DFA, AAA. We still got the two guys in double. Third base is Simons. And again, we'll go with the slightly better than Lipscomb, or do we go with Nair? Nair's a bit better defensively, and he's faster, honestly. Dwayne Nair. Welcome in. So AAA for you, double for you, double for you. We will DFA Brian Hayes down to AAA. What was the message about service time? It basically tells you if you're going to send someone down who has at least 5 years played, you have to DFA them instead. It basically gives, the AI the chance to claim them. So you get respect as a veteran player. Acuna is still good enough. It's fine by me. And then the outfield. We will move Charlie Condon over to left. Now that he is here. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. For the pitchers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Felipe Hernandez is hurt. He will be called up when he's healthy. 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that works. And obviously, there's the injuries right now to the starters, and then relievers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could call up Roach. We could also call up Lopez. Let's call up Kevin Roach a little bit early because he's going to be a major leaguer sooner rather than later. Anyway, AAA is going to need a couple of call-ups. Let's bump up Harmon to AA. Bump up all these dudes to AA for the moment. Obviously, we're still dealing with a lot of injuries, too. The top AA options. Benito Moya gets the call up to AAA. Jesus Gonzalez. And let's go for Richie Davis. So this team, the rotation is still strong. Copeland needs to be better. But him, Ullman, and Dixon, Cairo, and Herrera, the starting pitching needs to be better down the stretch. The bullpen is still very, very strong. And now lineup-wise, Valley's playing second at the moment because of injury. But Alonso, De La Rosa, Simons, Condon, Holiday, Rodriguez. Like, come on, man. If this team... We got 4 fucking starters at least a 93 overall. If this team cannot win a World Series, what team can? Like, we just went all in, to say the least. All right, we do have a little bit of money to spend now. Let's take out Ingebrigtsen. Guess we're not worried about Zinn as much. Let's really try to make the push to sign Steve Conrad. He signs. Good. What about Raul Garcia? He declines. Fine. What about Roberto Velasquez? Signs. Good. Let's go for David Ingebrigtsen. Elite sprinter. He declines. And Mitch Zinn also declined. Okay. We got a couple more guys than we did last year from the draft, though, so I'm fine with it. Let's take a look. So Brad Dudek. Honestly, not that bad. You know, we got him at 27. He was projected third. 19 being a 61 as a switch hitter. That's not bad. That's not bad. Roberto Velasquez, not so hot. He's actually okay, though, for a C potential. He's a 66 at 18 years old. That's not too bad. Great velocity. And then Steve Conrad at catcher, unfortunately. I mean, he's 18, but yeah, only a C potential. And then we missed out on everybody else. Let's see if there were any generational talents here. Peter Iwamura, very, very good pick. 69 overall at 18 years old. Only going to look at the 90 pluses. Gage Marks, a 52 at 19. Not bad at all. And only looking for generational talent here. Luis Merced, 59 overall at 23, so not so hot. Red Sox, Orioles didn't get anybody. Yankees with Pablo Rios, phenomenal pick. 18 overall at 18 years old, 66 overall. And then even Scott Chaney, the rifle himself, 18 years old, 53 overall. It's pretty good. Tampa, John Washington, 46 at 18, but great late pick. 19 years old, 61 overall, 93. DJ Denny, good pick. Good pick. Tim Guerra, 18 years old, 64 overall, 8. Great pick. Going to be an elite power hitter. Some very, very good picks in this draft. I haven't seen any generational talent. Steven Osuna, not bad. 20 years old, 57 overall. But the quality of this draft is definitely higher than some of the ones that we have seen in recent years. But there's also a lot of D potential players that have been picked. Yoel Molina, great pick. Second overall, 19 years old, 70 overall. Crazy. Great pick for the A's. Geo Oaks, okay. 22 years old and a 64, but that's okay. Texas, nobody too crazy. Atlanta, nobody absolutely insane. Miami didn't get anybody crazy. The Mets, Victor Lucero, I mean, 52 overall at 18. He's got time to develop. Every other player except for this guy was a freaking D potential, though. Philly, nobody. Ruined your franchise, Philly. You did get Tony, though. Congratulations. Didn't I draft Tony before and then he didn't sign? Washington, nobody. Chicago, Carlos Pena. 51 overall at 18, not bad. Cincy, nobody too crazy. Milwaukee with Ramon Gonzalez, great pick. 66 overall at 18 years old, great pick. And Pittsburgh, nobody top-notch. So, definitely a better draft all around. But yeah, no generational talents this year. I don't know if you noticed the contract extension window coming up, everybody. We need to win the World Series this year.